Segment of Rising Rituals with Ray. I am your lovely host, Ràella, and the whole purpose of this segment is to give you a little juice, give you a little energy, give you a little perspective to carry into your day. You know, 9 times out of 10, what people do when they first get up is check their phone. And that is such a Russian roulette. So, this is an opportunity for you to take the reins and take control over your day and direct the energy yourself. And today, I want to talk about something that is often overlooked. Today, I would like to talk about trusting your gut. You know, so often, and I'm going to give you an example in just a moment. But so often we get these messages or we get warnings and we just don't heed to them. It's like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be okay. I'll just, don't worry about it. When really the universe is communicating with you. You see, in our bodies, we have something called a mirror neuron, which is how we tap into a sense of empathy and compassion, right? Because we are able to feel, and that's why movies are so effective. You can feel what's going on in the main character's mind or heart as they're running and rushing and their heart's pumping and they're got to dodge through traffic and, escape from the villain or whatever, right? You can get into it because you can relate to it. So that mirror neuron, it's really interesting because it is multidimensional. Everything about us is multidimensional. You know how people say, oh, my gut reaction, or I got to trust my gut. They say that there is a second brain in the gut. And I don't think it's necessarily a second brain, but I do think that that is where emotions are normally stored and they rise from. Like, for example, you ever get like so angry when somebody does something against you, to you, or what have you, and you get so angry and you can feel that anger kind of fester in your stomach and then rise up. For me, what would happen, and this is because I used to have like a really blocked throat chakra, but what would happen is it would rise up and then it would get stuck in my throat because I didn't want to say anything. And I would just hold it in and be super mad. But that is not the way, and that is a signal. You see, your body, your mind, and your spirit are all working in tandem to communicate with you. So when you get that gut feeling, that gut reaction, that knowingness deep down inside you, that's like, don't do that, or don't go here today, or you should stay in the house, really. When you get that feeling and then you don't listen to it, what ends up happening is you end up figuring out why you weren't supposed to do that thing, right? Here's a perfect example. I was in college and I wanted to go to a semi-formal of the boys' floor. They were Lambda Chi's or something, I don't know. And they had a semi-formal, and all the girls on my floor that I hung out with got invited to these people's semi-formal. But I was in theater and we had a final dress rehearsal for Christmas Carol or whatever. And so I couldn't go to the semi-formal, but I was like, forget about that. I'm going to go to the after party. I decided to go to the after party, but while I was there, and there was so much friction, there was so much like warning not to go. There was like 4 or 5 different signs for me not to go, and I just did not listen. And so deep down, I was like, you should just go to the bakery. But I was being stubborn and I was upset and I wanted to hang out with my real friends. And I was throwing a temper tantrum. I was throwing a temper tantrum. And so I decided not to go. And I decided to go with my quote unquote real friends in order to get drunk and do all this crazy stuff. Well, I went back to the dorm, and one of my friends who I went to high school and college with was just like, yo, just come with us to the bakery. Like, it's going to be cool. Like, I'll be there. And we're like best friends. And I'm like, I know I love you, but I've had enough of them today. I'm going to go this way. I had like this much like UV pink and like a full handle of UV blue in my dorm room. I'm underage. And so I go and I get the bottles and I put one under one armpit, put one under the other armpit, and close my jacket. And then I walk into the hallway and I'm looking in that little mirror, and the mirror is like right next door to the RA's room. And I'm looking in that little mirror right outside the bathroom, like, okay, I look good. It's concealed. Nothing's going to happen. And then, without me even feeling it slip under my arms, I turn and look at Ariana. That was the girl's name. I turn and look at Ariana, and she's like, yeah, you look good. And then all of a sudden, and that's the exact sound that thing made. The bottle fell from my arm and smashed all over the floor. You would have thought that would have been a sign like, okay, maybe you shouldn't go. Maybe you should just go to the bakery. No, I was stubborn. I didn't listen to it. And I was like, forget about it. I'm going to keep going and do what I'm doing. So long story short, Ariana ran. Rude. And so I had to clean up all of that UV blue because I couldn't get caught because, we were all underage on that floor. So I had to clean it up real quick with the towels and threw all of the stuff in my dorm room. My room smelled like cotton candy for like a week. And it was crazy. And so I went downstairs and I was trying to scavenge for any alcohol left over from the guys' semi-formal, like, they pregame and they probably were drinking afterwards too. There was absolutely no alcohol, none. They were already all drunk. And I had like this much UV pink, right? And so I drank that and I was mad because it was mostly sugar and I didn't feel anything. So I'm mad. I'm mad, right? But at what point was I like, maybe I should listen? At no point. So we decided to go to this party. It was off campus on the other side of campus from where the bakery would have been. So I follow these people. And when we get there, I was like, they're going to have alcohol at the party. It's going to be fine. So I get there and I'm like, okay, hey, do you guys have any alcohol? And so went to the kitchen. They opened the cupboard and there was one cup left in there. And it was the Bradley Center or the Bradley University Newman Center, which is like the student church group. And I would go there for Bible study, which was crazy, right? And I just look at this cup like Jesus just looking down on me, shaking his head right now. And did I decide to stop or not get anything to drink? Absolutely not. I just like fill it up, right? So they filled up with the punch or beer or whatever they had. And I didn't even like finish the cup, but at this point, I got me a cup. I'm having a good time. I'm cutting up, right? By the time I'm like finishing the cup, boom, Vice breaks through the front door. And everyone in that house or at that party that was underage got a ticket that night. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is the universe is consistently communicating with you. Your body is consistently communicating with you. And when you ignore certain signs, certain communications, it ends up causing more problems down the road. So if you feel like, and you have this like inner knowingness, a little bit of just like, I feel like I shouldn't do this. That is a sign. That is your body. That is that mirror neuron communicating with you. There was another time, and I'll make this one short. There was another time that I went out drinking with a friend and I was drinking and decided to drive home. And part of me was like, don't drive home. Like, just stay here. But it was uncomfortable. I would have been on his couch and I just didn't really feel like doing that. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just drive home. And so I decided to drive home and got into a car accident on the way home. I mean, thank the divine, I didn't get like a DUI or anything like that. But at the end of the day, like that could have been horrible. Your gut knows, and also, when you're doing right from wrong, you're not supposed to get behind a car and drive when you're drinking. But, these are lessons that I had to learn. But at the same time, like, you have to listen to that inner knowingness, because if you don't listen to it, what's going to happen is it's going to cause a lot more problems, a lot more challenges, a lot more dysfunction further down the line. Okay. So when you're faced with a situation, even if it might seem like a really great opportunity, but something in you is telling you, no, don't do it. Or even if it's a relationship and something is telling you, no, don't do it, or wait, or not right now. All of those things are signs to tell you exactly that you are or you are not in alignment for something. Listen to that. You have this inner knowingness, you have this divine guidance within you. And when you tap into it, when you listen to it, when you embrace it, it will guide you exactly where you want to go. When you defy it, it will cause more problems down the line. Okay. I know this was a quick live, but I've got a call in about 2 minutes. But I wanted to come on here and make sure I give you guys that value because it was weighing on my heart. Listen to your inner guidance, listen to your higher self, listen to that gut instinct because it's usually right. Okay. I love you guys. You have a beautiful, magical, manifesting day. And I will see you tomorrow for more rising rituals with Ray. Have a beautiful one. See you later.